Welcome to my Tech Showcase series, where I'm going to be showcasing all the different components I've collected over my years of office work and intense gaming. Let's jump straight into it. Starting with the first is my standing desk by FlexiSpot. It's the E7, it has dual motors, and it's capable of supporting up to 355 pounds. You heard that right, that is literally 2 people. The desk comes at a pretty hefty price tag, although in my opinion it was well worth it because it's improved my productivity, which allows me to focus more on my work throughout the day. It also allows me to focus more on in long gaming sessions, which is actually quite counterproductive. Regardless though, I highly recommend having a standing desk frame, and I do recommend if you're able to make your own tabletop for it. The one I have is Monkey Pod Butcher Block that I stained and steeled by myself. It was quite the bit of work, although it saved me about $400.
This would make a really cool dining table, but I've decided why not just turn this into my desk. So this is how it looks. And we're gonna go ahead and stay on this and then put on some polyurethane. Yeah.
In total, the standing desk frame and the Butcher Block tabletop came out to, that's a tongue twister, what? In total, the standing desk frame and the table on top of it came out to around $800, which is actually quite a bit cheaper than how it would be if I bought it all pre-built. You could easily see this going up to $1,200, $1,300, especially with walnut wood. The dimensions of this table is 6 foot and 30 inches, which has been wonderful. It's been the perfect distance between my chest and the back of the table, or to where my monitor is, to where I can breathe comfortably and to continue to do office work, things like that. Without further ado, let's move on to the next item. The next big thing on my list is my small PC, known as ITX, and this thing was a bit of a premium, although in exchange it is extremely portable. It's like an expanded laptop, if you will, but without the display on it. And even in that case, you can just carry around your own portable monitor with you if you wanted to. The case utilizes a sandwich type design where the motherboard is attached onto a frame with the GPU being on the other side of the motherboard. So that means the CPU is on one side and the GPU is all on the other side. Cases like these rely on a PCIe riser. It's an extension cable for your GPU essentially. And it works quite great. It makes it so your case can lay sideways like a sandwich. Even though the size is only 9.9 liters, which is what they use to measure fish tanks, this case can fit an RTX 4090 inside it. That's a $1,700 GPU. It's one of the most insane ones around the corner. Here are my specs and what I was able to fit inside. Most of these parts I got used off of hardware swaps or some other place, Amazon used, something like that. You might be wondering how I handle heat in this small PC, and well, I use optimum text video right here to get my temps down to only 75 degrees Celsius with minimal cost and performance. You spend all this money on an expensive PC, but what is that worth if your experience isn't even that great while you're playing a game itself? And that's where having a nice monitor comes in handy, or good audio, and this is something that most people overlook. I got the Hifi Man Sundaras, which is an entry-level hi-fi headphones, and this is something that really only audiophiles even know about. This is their realm, and it's typically known as a very expensive hobby where the most expensive headphones can cost up to $2,000 to $3,000 just for the most crisp audio that you can get. And don't even think about like amps, preamps, and all that. That's just, the prices on those is through the roof, easily. In my experience, it's like switching between 60 Hz to 144 Hz. When you go up there for the first time, you don't really notice it, but when you step down, it is a little bit obvious. That's kind of how the experience is with me with these Sundaras versus switching to my more traditional headphones, such as wired earbuds or my old Skull Candy Crusher wireless. The Sundaras are open headphones, which means if somebody is talking to you right next to you, then you would be able to hear them like you're not wearing any headphones at all. To some people this may be a con, but to me, I've gotten used to it and I do like it. Something really tricky to explain within headphones like the Sundara is that they feature a wider soundstage, and that means the audio sounds much wider, like you're right in front of a concert stage, for example, rather than listening to it from a narrow tube. It definitely is noticeable. Next up is one of the lightest mouses, or mice, I guess you could say. I don't even, what is even the correct terminology? Mice or mouse? But that's a Logitech G Pro Super Light, and I've been rocking this mouse for a good bit, and I will also say, Logitech Logitech has excellent support because this mouse had a little bit of issues where the mouse was stuttering, the cursor itself, and Logitech immediately sent me a new mouse. Conveniently, the previous one started working again, but we don't talk about that, so now I kind of just have two. The mouse is like only 60 grams. It's remarkably light, and I will give Logitech huge compliments for that. However, at $150, which was the full MSRP for it, even for the G Pro Superlight 2, which is a new one that just came out, no, come on, who can pay $150 on a mouse? Only do that if you're a competitive player, or like the Hifi Headphones, you have cash you're just willing to throw away. I was a little bit naive and I wanted the best of the best, and I will say that this is an endgame mouse and I can't see myself upgrading from this mouse in a long bit unless it breaks, so there's that. But I highly recommend you just get a Logitech counterpart for around 60 bucks. It might weigh a little bit more and have a few more buttons, which is honestly a pro, and then you save on like 70 bucks, which you can easily spend towards something else. Oh, and if you're wondering, here's a link to the mouse grips that I have on this mouse, which makes it look like some super cool artwork straight out of the graffiti shop of some location in downtown of a location. Last on the list is my audio setup, and it's actually this microphone up here that I would have on that stand up there, which is clamped onto my desk. I've always wanted to be a streamer or a content creator, and I saw all the top streamers using something like this. I wanted to be a lot like them, which is why I got something like this, and the audio quality is honestly, it's really good. But it's kind of funny because the trend nowadays is to have really bad audio, and it makes yourself more relatable to other people too. So it's kind of funny how that works. Like, hey, the streamer has a bad audio setup. They seem more relatable to what I have now. That's kind of like the logic now.
Just got back from a 24-hour stream, which let's talk about that for a second. Yeah, never again.
Conveniently though, my audio setup ended up paying for itself. It includes this microphone, which is about $400, the Yamaha MGX10 mixer, which is about $150, $200 I believe, and then the Cloud Lifter, which was about $100. Overall though, I paid nearly all of this off by doing voiceover work, which is a total unexpected twist that I didn't expect to get into. I mean, voiceover work? I only recommend an audio setup like this to somebody if you already have an established viewer base, or you want to be a professional singer and you already have a small following. But for somebody right off the get-go who wants to get into content creation or any kind of voiceovers, I don't recommend something like this. Well, congratulations, you've made it to the end of the video and I hope you enjoyed. I'll be making videos later where I'm going more in depth about each of the components I discussed in this video, as well as other ones, such as my Fold 5, a folding phone that I got for free from Samsung thanks to my ambassadorship. It's actually the only thing that's, it's not even I just brought it up. I honestly really like Samsung. So if you're ever interested, check out my page, click on that notification button, and even subscribe if you dare. And like the video if you want to see more like this. And also check that out. It's a new member of the Nikki T family. It's Snorlax. All right, see you guys. Have a good one.